Well, hello everybody, welcome to Robert's Train Set. And I think the first thing to say obviously is being Christmas Eve, happy Christmas to everybody. Won't say a happy new year at the moment because I will see you before the new year, hopefully, in my my next instalment on my changing from Hornby Railmaster, which is controlling the trains today, to iTRAINS with the assistance of DigiKeys. And if you've seen any of those, you'll know what it's all about. But briefly, because it's going to be connected with this little running session, iTRAINS will literally run your trains by themselves and stop them hitting each other. That's the theory, if you get everything right. So, I'm going to do this running session, and I will show you the trains running around in a minute, just as they normally do. And I've got Earl of St Germans here for Kelly with her nice carriages that she likes, so I hope that's alright for you, Kelly. Make your Christmas. But I want to act, I want my brain to act as iTRAINS. So I'm going to try and do a running session with a lot of trains being controlled by iTRAINS for in the future when this layout is actually converted to that system, hopefully. And you might notice I've got nothing Christmassy around here. I'm not going to try and compete with Mr. Dragon Junction. After all, he's far nicer shed than I've got. But what I thought I might do, and if I stand up and I'll show you, is it's fairly warm today here. I mean, it's up to 13 degrees outside, and it's pretty near to 50 in here, which is better than I've had for a long time. And I thought the people in Britain that have had a cold few months, really, isn't it, might like to be warmed up, and the people in the warmer countries, Australia and New Zealand and all round there, might like to feel at home. So I'm just going to see my shirt that I've got on. I put this on specially, and this was bought in the South Pacific, I believe, or Brisbane. I'm not quite sure of the two. Got two, and one was bought in Brisbane and one in the South Pacific Islands. But we'll say this is the South Pacific Islands. So that's my bit of Christmassy. Sorry everybody, but I'm here to run trains. So I hope you'll forgive me for not having any Christmassy bits up, but I live by myself and I know. I'd rather play with trains. I'm quite enjoying playing with them today up here. I've been on the little table downstairs, haven't I? Which is some good news that you'll see after the Christmas. Let's hope. I'm recording this. Actually, it's a weekend of the final Grand Prix, which is for once live on Channel 4. So I'm trying to get this done before I go down and watch and see who wins between Hamilton and Verstappen. Equal, isn't it? I mean, it would be nice for Verstappen to get his first one. It's always the hardest to get, the first one. I'm just going to show you a few of the trains, and then I'll see if my brain can act as iTRAINS. What do you reckon, people? So I think we might have a few collisions, don't you? So as I said, I'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope that the COVID situation hasn't got out of hand and we've got restrictions like we did last Christmas, and we all have a good time. Even maybe number 10, or maybe not. Just a few of the trains running that I had ready to do this in with. So let's have a go at doing this iTRAINS simulation. So here we are, iTRAINS in control, and it's bringing this 395 Javelin on a scheduled service into the station. Slowing down here. And she will appear. Oh, there she is. I must admit that iTRAINS brought her into the station a lot better than I do sometimes. At least she stopped her in the right place. And en route towards this station is the Earl of St Germans with a rail tour. Lots of happy people in the carriages, and possibly even Kelly. As she comes out onto the viaduct from the industrial area, comes to this tunnel and gets stopped on the outside, because the scheduled services have priority, don't they? As should be. And there she is, sitting there waiting with the signal at red. So, as the Javelin is going to be in for a little while with a driver change and a few other bits, or putting it another way, I asked iTRAINS to hold her for a little while. It's time for the 101 local service to go across the main lines and get on to its route to its local destination without holding up the Javelin. It then clears the tracks for the Earl of St Germans. So all the points have been set as iTRAINS does, as well as the signals if there are any. Now we're all ready to go with the Javelin, the 395. Very quietly and smoothly pulls out of the station. They do pick up speed quickly, these electric trains, don't they? Not as fast as the tubes, or it doesn't appear to be. Oh, the signal changes for the Earl of St Germans. We can get a move on now. Carry on with the tour. I must admit it's quite nice to give them a bigger engines a run. Being able to be used on the mini iTRAINS layout down on the table downstairs, which you may have seen. You may have noticed the green Southern Region restaurant and buffet car drafted in because they didn't have any in this colour scheme. And obviously this is a Western Region sort of coloured train really, along with the engine. It gets a green light on the next one and can carry on and get onto a destination. Whether that be there and then coming back, or whether this is the final bit, we don't know. Although maybe iTRAINS does. So with all this going on, this poor old 37, Colas Rail Freight 37, got the head of a Network Rail ballast moving train, with a very unusual composition. Been held up here so long they turn the engine off, so they get started, and hopefully the signal will change and they can go. And there we are. Nice smart move away. So as you can see, we've got 4 Network Rail yellow wagons, couldn't fall. And then they grafted on some Yeomans at the back, because they needed a bit more ballast where it's needed, not here. And carries on her journey. So here we have another rail tour, I'm assuming. It's moored. Very strange rail tour this. But all being kept going smoothly by iTRAINS. So she comes into the station for a little stop, picking up some extra passengers perhaps, or maybe someone to get off. And again, iTRAINS brings her into the station very well, although I must admit the braking at the end was a little bit fierce. And while she's in, we have a container train pulled by a 57, West Coast 57, been drafted in because the original engine had a problem. So as always, West Coast stood in. Very good of them. And here just maybe either just speeding up from a stop or going to a stop. Only iTRAINS knows at the moment. So, get a green signal for Maud and her 3-coach train. And we've even got a camera at the back of the station, at the end of the platform. So, very nice. So time to go. And away she pulls. We will be seeing Maud again a bit later on in the show after iTRAINS has finished controlling them, hopefully. And it's now. So, my brain has given up being iTRAINS and we're just back to normal Hornby. So, last look here for Kelly and the Earl of St Germans, going across the viaduct, or embankment, whichever you want to call it. I must say these trains have really worked really well. The only problems have been me not changing the points. As I said, Maud will make an appearance again. It's a fine looking engine, I must admit. So I hope you've enjoyed this iTRAINS simulation. What it'll actually be like when I do actually get it to work, whenever that might be, which could be quite a while, it'll be interesting to see whether this would actually ever work. We'll have to see, won't we? So, just creeping into shot in the left-hand corner and coming out now is my Christmas train of a couple of years ago, or a year ago. And it's still about on my channel, and it was basically they have to move all these parcels about for Father Christmas to deliver, and this was an incognito train, so nobody wanted to know what it was. They didn't want people to know what was in these box vans, so it was always downgraded and wasn't rushed and anything, and just looked like an old freight with the class 20 pulling it. Now this is obviously the old Backlund Class 20 and not the new one. It's doing a good job. And obviously pulling all my very cheap rake of these box vans that were £51 for the whole rake. 2 years ago, admittedly, but it was a good deal. So I hope you've enjoyed the running, and now we're just going to show you a little bit behind the scenes. Well, everybody, I don't know what you thought of that, and I'd be interested to know in the comments what you thought. Did you find it interesting or a bit boring or what? Because, you know, it's nice to know what you out there think about what we do. So as you can see, my Railmaster has departed the screen here and everything's turned off. Well, except for my sidings monitor. So I just want to show you the amount of trains I had here. So if we just go on the layout first of all, and we'll pan in a little bit. So as you saw at the end, we got Maud with her little train. You notice that the 101 is missing from the siding, and I shall quickly move to where sitting here in the original sidings, which work quite well. So we go back to the main station waiting for the signal to, or the signal's just changed, ready for her to go, is the Class 57 with her container train all sitting there okay. And just nestling right up against the back scene and down this, what's her name here, this embankment. So she came out, had little trouble getting her to start, I think dirty rails. So that's all the trains I've got on here at the moment, which I think I've done quite well. But I'll go and show you behind the scenes. So we've just plunged through the back scene, through the little tunnel there that's in the field, which I still haven't done anything about, but never mind. And if I pan out slowly, we have the Class 60 and the oil tankers, the TTA oil tankers here, along with the Network Rail and Yeoman combined maintenance train, Network Rail, with the Colas Rail Freight on the front. So they're sitting here contentedly, okay. And we move from here and we go to the big sidings, or the big fiddle yard if you prefer. And I had the Class 52 Western up here to pull this nuclear waste, what's the name, but it never got to show, so sorry about that, peoples. And I've also got on here Earl of St Germans for Kelly, and the 395 for somebody who really likes it. You know who you are. And also sitting here is obviously the 411 EMU that never got a show because time ran out really. So you can see it's the layout works. I will say that I made a lot of mistakes trying to do this. I kept forgetting to set points. We got a few fuses because of that, and then I forgot to put the lights back on, you know, the red and the greens. So I can't wait to get iTRAINS running this lot. It's going to be great, hopefully. So we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed this. And as I said at the beginning, I hope you all have a happy Christmas and that we get away with not many restrictions. We'll see. And watch out for my next part of this changing to iTRAINS on New Year's Eve. Whether any of you will watch it, I don't know, but I'll put it out and catch it up a few days later. Won't hurt, will it? Okay, everybody? And in that, obviously, I'll wish you a Happy New Year. But I'm not doing it at the moment because I'm going to see you before. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.